my name is Shifa Tunisai. My student number is 11.
Hi, my name is Yeftas Gasunaria. My student number is 30.
Hello, my name is Jevine Kesoromatua Sumbayak. My student number is 39.
Hi, my name is Nabila Prina. My study number is 19.
And hi, I'm Gadis Fatima Zara and my student number is 31. Hope you enjoy.
Good morning, everyone. We are from Group 4. Today, we are going to present our second assignment for the English for International Relations course. In this presentation, we will analyze discussing agricultural protectionism in wealthy countries and its relation to global poverty. Our presentations will be divided into three parts: summary, debunk, and conclusion. So let's begin.
Okay guys, I will explain about the summary. Main idea, the author argues that agriculture protectionism in rich countries does not automatically worsen global poverty. Although liberalizing agriculture might benefit some poor countries that are efficient producers, it could harm poor countries that rely heavily on food importance due to rising prices. For example, in 2001, Senegal spent about $450 million on food imports, which was equal to 10% of its GDP and one-third of its annual export earnings. This shows how food importing poor countries suffer from higher prices. And the examples too, in India, the government buys food from farmers at prices higher than global market prices, showing that high domestic prices don't necessarily require high world prices.
And there are two further summaries. The first of which is impoverished countries will not automatically become exporters if trade is liberalized. Developed countries and their consumers benefit the most from liberalization. Liberalization is still important, but it does not automatically save poor countries. This is a quote from Ingersoll, D. 2005. And the explanation of the 2 points is that trade liberalization does not automatically make poor countries the main exporters, even if trade barriers are removed. This is because poor countries often face limitation in infrastructure, technology, and production capacity, making it difficult to compete in the global market. On the other hand, developed countries and their consumers benefit the most from free trade, and they have greater access to market, capital, and advanced technology, allowing them to dominate global supply chains. Thus, while liberalization remains important to boost global economic growth, it does not automatically save poor countries without more holistic development support.
While article tries to justify protectionism in rich countries, we believe this policy still contributes significantly to global inequality. For instance, the European Union Common Agricultural Policy, or CAP, gives massive subsidies to local farmers. This undermines the competitive of farmers in developing countries. Many global south countries like Ghana and Ethiopia have a great agricultural potential. However, protectionist barriers in wealthy nations make it difficult for them to access global market, especially in Europe, despite having high-quality export commodities. This provides this protectionism harm poor countries opportunity for growth rather than helping them.
Beyond damaging competition, protectionism also blocks the potential of developing nations to thrive in global markets. Ethiopia, for instance, is renowned for its high-quality coffee beans. However, due to high tariffs, quota system, and stringent quality standards imposed by rich countries, Ethiopian coffee struggles to reach border markets. This limits not only the country export revenues but also the opportunities for millions of farmers who depend on coffee for their livelihood. These also opportunities hinder the broader goal of sustainable development in global south. Countries with strong agricultural potential are unable to expand due to protections trade policies. Rather than fostering a fair international system, these policies reinforce inequality. If developing nations were given equal market access, they could insert export, create jobs, and reduce poverty. Therefore, reforming global trade rules is essential to ensure long-term development. So that's all.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. We're continuing our group presentation from last Monday, and as promised, we will start with the Q&A session. One of our classmates, Alan, raised a great question that we did not get the chance to answer last time. So today we will begin by addressing.
Okay, I will give you the question. How exactly do rich countries manage to gain profits from agriculture export even though they subsidize the production and sell it at low prices?
A rich country can still make profit or stay competitive in agriculture export, even though they sell at a low price, because their government help pay for the production costs. This means farmers in rich country don't lose money even if they sell cheaply, because the government support them through subsidies. As a result, their product become much cheaper in the global market. Farmers in poor countries how cannot compete, but it helps rich countries export and consumers. Now we will continue to the next question from Kalista, who asks.
Now we'll continue to the next question from Kalista, who asks,
Okay, I will give you the question. How this protection system is considered inefficient, while in conclusion it is considered to benefit poor countries?
wow, that's a great question, Kalista. I want to answering this question. Even though the article said trade liberalization can also hurt poor countries, it doesn't mean protectionism is a good solution. Protectionism considers inefficient because it creates unfair trade. Rich countries support their farmers with subsidies so they can sell products cheaply, even below the real cost. This makes it hard for farmers in poor countries to compete or grow their own economy. Some poor countries may get cheaper food in the short term, but in long run, they lose the chance to develop their own farming and become strong exporters. So it may look like a benefit at first. Thank you.
So the conclusion is the passage argues that the claim agricultural protectionism in rich nations worsen global poverty is not necessarily true. While removing agricultural protection in wealthy countries could benefit efficient producers in poor countries by opening up markets and increasing prices, it could also harm poor countries that rely heavily on food imports by making food more expensive. Additionally, even poor countries benefit from higher export prices. Their domestic consumers may suffer due to rising costs. Ironically, rich countries and their consumers would benefit most from liberalizations, as they bear the cost of subsidies. The text concludes that despite some drawbacks, the current protectionist system is inefficient and distorts global agricultural trade, and liberalizing it remains a sound goal.
That's all from Group 4.
Thanks for listening!
I hope you enjoy our video.
Stay tuned for next video.
Bye-bye!
Bye.